Hi, everyone. My name is Shani Roberts, and I am going to talk to you today about preparing students for the AI-driven workforce, developing the essential skills for an evolving job market. So I like to have a very interactive presentation. So if you would, please drop a line in the chat. You could just say hi to start with, and we'll get moving on this presentation. I hope everybody's having a good day. All right. So today I'm gonna go over. We're gonna do a little welcome, introduce myself, and then we're gonna talk about understanding AI's impact and that education gap that hopefully you guys are unfortunately seeing. And then we're going to talk about the essential skills for any AI-driven workforce. I'm going to do a little demo, which hopefully will be really helpful. And I'm going to give you some strategies for lifelong learning, because hopefully with AI, you're learning that it's going to be important to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep understanding. And then I'm going to open up the conversation for Q&A. All right. I see everybody in here leaving your notes, so thank you so much. All right. So let's talk about why we are here. Actually, you know what? I want to introduce myself. My name is Shani Roberts. I am an AI certified consultant and trainer. I got my certification with the Little Sisters. I've had it for over a year now, and through that, I made some really amazing connections and was able to connect with some other former educators, because I'm a former educator. And I'm now a co-founder for a group called AEN, which is the AI Educator Network, where we are out there trying to really send out information to educators on how to integrate AI into their classrooms. We know that it's a challenge. We understand that some school systems are not allowing that to happen, but we're here to try to help move that cause along. I'm gonna, at the top of, or actually on every single page of my presentation, you'll see my LinkedIn QR code. Please connect with me, because I know there are a lot of people out there that want to know more about what we're doing. So I'm really excited to make those connections. And we have a bunch of classes that we offer. So please connect. All right, so back to the presentation. Let's talk about why we are here for this presentation. The world around us, as you know, is changing. AI is reshaping how we work and how our students learn. And when I say students, I don't only mean those that are inside a classroom. I'm also talking about adults. I am a lifelong learner. I consider myself a student. So I'm always out there trying to see what else is coming down the pipeline. What else can I learn? How can I grow? I am professionally an e-learning designer and instructional designer. So I build e-learning courses using AI. So with that, I'm constantly trying to figure out how to be more efficient, how to make what I build more visually appealing, but also educationally sound. So why updating our educational practices is so critical. AI, the future of AI is already impacting careers and classrooms. I know many people have said that AI is going to take over my job. I'm scared. And I understand that fear. But the reality is AI isn't going to take over your job. But what will are people who know how to integrate and use AI in their everyday lives and in their professional lives as well. So I'm going to show you what you can do to help prepare your students, no matter what age, for those changes. Now, before we jump in, could you drop one word in the chat that comes to mind when you think of AI in education, or even in the business world? One word. Growth. I see you, Anna Marie. That's a good one. Progress. Empowerment. Any more? These are all fantastic ones. Efficiency, automation, learning, yes. Shortcut, okay, I don't blame you. Access, fear is a big one too. Hopefully I can help with dispelling some of that fear if you guys are still experiencing that. So let's move on. So let's dive into AI's impact. And this covers both the AI trends and the workforce evolution. We're in this evolution, right? Here's the truth. Rapid advancements in automation, which was one of the words, machine learning, and data analytics are creating entirely new roles and transforming existing ones at a pace that we can't even keep up with, right? When we shift to the education gap, there are several questions we need to ask, and some of them are schools updating their curriculum? And unfortunately, for a lot of schools, they're not. The wheel of education, if you are a former teacher or know anything about education, takes a long time. And in technology, a long time means you're going to have a bigger gap when it comes to what the industry, what businesses needs, and what schools and education are teaching. And how do we prepare for that? How do we bridge that gap? Because what's happening is there's a huge disconnection between students being unprepared for the jobs of tomorrow. And that's a huge problem. We've seen anyone who's in this meeting probably already can vividly remember when the internet took over and when when jobs for coding were coming in, and how we've had to outsource those jobs to other countries because our schools are not teaching these coding skills to our students, but they are in other countries. So we're getting left behind because of that. So to be on brand, I want you to put in the chat a scale from 1 to 10, how well you think schools are adapting to these changes. 1 being the very lowest, that they're not doing it well, or 10 being the highest. Drop that in the chat, please. I see some 1s. Oh, someone even a 5. I want to know what school system you're in, Shannon. Tiffany 1, 3s. So 5 and below is what I'm seeing. Some I think are maybe a little optimistic, which is fine. But I know that I've learned through getting my certificate in AI that there are schools in Asia, and this includes, I'm including India in Asia, that teach their students, their children, how to code while they're learning how to read. Can you imagine if the students here in the States were able to do that? How they would be set up for extreme success for the rest of their lives? Because coding is a whole nother language that many students don't know how to use. And if we were able to, yes, learning the code is still relevant. Absolutely. Because there are a lot of businesses that still need to know the back end or how to develop the back end of a lot of their websites. And you need to learn how to, now the coding language can be different because Python is really taking another turn, but coding is definitely still quite relevant. All right, so why do schools need to catch up? We just talked about how several of you from 5 and below. So we're identifying that there is a need for schools to evolve. But how do we do that? Or what is the problem? We have to bridge that skill gap. We need to start integrating AI data and literacy into the traditional curriculum, because if we teach them, then they'll learn and they'll be able to go out and do. We have to address the disconnect where I'm seeing, especially in politics, that school systems are not allowed to address this disconnect. Some people want them to, and some people don't. And as we know, it's politicians that help to or really decide what educators are going to teach. And They don't know. So we need to close that growing gap between the education and the needs of the workforce, because like I said, there's a big gap there. We also need to drive change. We need to prepare our graduates for their impending future. And that includes integrating technology into their classes or into their understanding, into what they're learning, so they can be competitive and adaptable. And adaptable really means that they're able to pivot and make changes quickly, and learn as they go. And many years ago, I worked on my PhD, and one of my passions was the gap between high school and college. And what's happening in that particular gap is high school kids coming out thinking that they know everything, have learned so much, and but then they go to college and they take their first classes and they're failing. They're flawed. They're having all kinds of issues because our schools are not preparing our students. And I studied that over 15 years ago without AI. And now it's even getting bigger. That gap is getting wider and wider because of technology and because AI, because we're not teaching our students what they need to know in order to be dynamic part of this workforce. So then we have enhancing collaboration. Schools and industries need to work together, so that way the industries can tell schools what it is that they need from these emerging employees, so that way they can be successful, right? And how do they do that? By providing educators, school systems with real world insights. So that way those school systems can build those classes for AI, how to use AI, how to think critically so they can use AI, and then come out into the workforce and actually be able to help their students or be successful. So what is one change you'd love to see in education to better prepare students for the future? Please put that in the chat. I see you, Shannon. I love the fact that your grandson goes to a STEM school. Unfortunately, not everybody has that access, though. So again, tell me one change you'd love to see in education to better prepare students for the future. Mandatory coding classes. I 100% agree with that. Educate public school educators. Look, like I said earlier, I am a co-founder of AEN, and that is one of the things that we are working on, is to educate educators on how to integrate AI into the classroom, so that way we can create, as you said, Nina, a global learning platform, right? So I'm there. I am a part of this wave, this trend to make it where we need it to be. All right, so let's talk about the essential skills. There's two pieces that I'm going to talk about: technical foundational skills, soft skills. Well, there's a third, also including ethical consideration. Now, under technical skills, there's four main pieces. We have digital literacy. We have to know how to use a computer just beyond turning it on. It's really about understanding those digital tools and those online platforms. And as we know, there's a bunch of them. Every single month, there's something new. You're a part of the learning team, so you know. I don't know how the little sisters keep up with all the things that are out there. I barely get any sleep, and but it is just me. They have a great team, but still, I'm always in awe. Then you have data literacy, and this means the ability to understand, manage, and analyze data. Now that's critical, because if you can understand and learn how to read data, then you see the trends, you know which way things are going, so that way you can move with it and not against it, or even stay behind. Programming essentials. This is where coding comes in. Python and AI frameworks. These set the foundation. I always think about the matrix, where you see zeros and ones and all those different things. That's part of coding that helps you to understand what it is that you're seeing, and then you can fix stuff. This is why still learning coding is important, because then you're one of the people that can go in and fix them, fix issues. Talk about job security there, right? Now, we also have tool proficiency, and that's really about knowing how to work with these AI tools, how to integrate them. We talk about automation, and that word is wonderful, but how do you automate? How do you use your chat GPT in order to automate? Not everybody knows how to do that. But if you do, then again, you're making yourself invaluable. Okay. So, what technical skill do you think is most critical for students today? And again, when I say students, I don't just mean those in the classroom. I mean all of us, because we're all still learning. So please drop that in the chat. What technical skill do you think is most critical for students today? Take a sip of water while I wait. Cloud architecture, typing. Yes, that is is that a hard skill, or is that a technical skill or a soft skill? An open mind, I would put under the soft skill. Critical, I would also put that under soft skills. Not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying those are more soft skills, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Learning AI and how to prompt engineering is part of digital literacy, so absolutely. All right, so we're going to move on. Let's talk about those soft skills and ethical considerations, because I see a lot of them coming up in this conversation. So first, soft skills are just as critical as the hard skills, as the technical skills. So create critical thinking and problem solving. Now, I am continuously in debates with friends and families about critical thinking, having common sense, and being able to problem solve. And it seems like there's certain generations where this is skipped, or there's little outliners of groups that know how to do it and still don't. But critical thinking is critical. And using AI is definitely something that can help with critical thinking and solving problems. But it's all about how you learn how to do it. I was in a presentation just last night where someone who was presenting said, "Oh my goodness, prompt engineering is so difficult. People shouldn't have to do it." And I scrunched up my face and I said, "What do you mean? Prompt engineering isn't that difficult. It's how you, first of all, who is teaching you how to do it, and then realizing that this most like chat gpt is an llm, so it's learning what it is that I am expecting and what I want from it. So if I sit here, because the little sisters will say garbage in, garbage out when it comes to prompt engineering. So it's really about using your critical thinking and problem solving skills in order to craft a good prompt, so that way you can get the information that you want. Are you going to be great the first time you do it? No. Are you going to be great the second time you do it? No. But you keep developing those skills so that way you get the result that you want. And from that, then you go, okay, I use these key skills, these key words in order to get what I want. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to grow. You can ask ChatGPT what it is that you need, that it needs in order to give you the answers that you want. But that's part of critical thinking, and that's part of problem solving. Now, with adaptability and lifelong learning, is really what it is. Adapting so you can continue to learn, so that way you can continue to grow and keep moving forward. Always about keep moving forward, learning what you, taking what you've learned and making sense of it so you can move forward and growing from what you learned. Collaboration and communication, it is critical to work with peers and so you can help with integrating those AI systems and learn. My AEN group, I'm constantly learning from these wonderful ladies that I work with. We are still active in with the Learning Tube, with all the AI summits that are coming up. We're still learning and growing because we know that we can't do it by ourselves. Now the ethical and interdisciplinary insight is one of my favorite pieces, because as a former educator, ethics is so important, right? We need to make sure that we are keeping things, we're preserving information that needs to be, that's sensitive, and we need to make sure we're also using AI with an ethical lens. Am I making sure that I am doing what I'm supposed to do without jeopardizing the safety, the integrity of myself, of my students, and of the information that I'm trying to learn? Sorry, my people just always want to talk to me. All right, so drop in the chat, tell me what is the most important soft skill for an AI-driven world? What do you think it is? Drop in the chat, what is the most important soft skill for an AI-driven world? Yes, learn how to listen and look at failure as a step in the learning process. Kim, yes, you deserve a drink. I don't know if you drink, but drink, have an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage. Listening, absolutely. Failing, not knowing how to do something is okay. It's what you do with that information next. If you say, okay, I'm afraid I'm not going to move forward, then who won? Nobody did. But if you take that failure as a learning experience, so you could make a new mistake and not keep making the same mistakes, then you're already winning. And that's that's part of life, is continuously learning. All right, so now I'm really, really excited to show you something really practical. All right, I'm going to dive in with you. We're going to dive in together the LinkedIn Career Explorer. Now, this tool is amazing because it uses LinkedIn's huge economic graph to give you data-driven insights, to give you skill mapping, to help you with, if you're in the middle of a career transition, it has a transitional tool. It does give some personal recommendations and some industry trends as well. It offers insights to emerging job trends and skills that you may need or suggested for the future. Now, if you haven't used it before, it's fine. I'm going to put in the chat. Hold on. Oh, give me just one second. My friends, I'm trying to get on my other screen, I'm getting the link for you guys. I thought it would link on my end, but it doesn't. But I'm going to click on this so we can see it together too. So hold on. See. All right. There's the link. Now, if you want to do it with me, this is wonderful. Please do. If you just want to sit back and watch, you can do that. But when you're ready, please put in the chat, ready. All right, Michelle, I see you. Kim, Angie, Nina, Lula, Janice. All right. I see a bunch of you ready. So here we are. Everybody, can everybody just give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen, please? That has the find new jobs with the skills you already have.
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. All right, so the beginning of this is a little daunting, and what I suggest is it gives you information about different jobs, right? But if you just keep scrolling all the way, there's a whole bunch of information that you can look at on your own, but you scroll all the way down to about halfway, you can put in the city of choice. I'm in the Atlanta area. And then you could also put in a job title that you might be interested in. So I'm going to put in my job title. Well, I'm going to put instructional designer. Ooh, if I could spell. And you can see it right here, instructional designer. Here, it tells you all of the skills, or maybe not all, but the majority of the skills that you need in order to do what I do every day, right? It tells you It helps you to find jobs on LinkedIn. It connects with people on LinkedIn. Of course, you have to have a LinkedIn account in order to see this information. It tells you how popular this particular position is. You see right now it's at 10. It's at 10. You keep scrolling and it gives you even more jobs that are associated to this particular title or job title. Here's an e-learning manager. It gives you all the skills that you need in order to be successful in this job. Articulate storyline, SCORM, all of these are things that I deal with every single day. And if you continue to scroll, you'll see even more information out there about this particular job that I have, and jobs that actually are under the umbrella or are associated with this particular job. Now, the question is, how is this helpful? Because this shows you skill mapping. This shows you what kind of skills you need in order to move on. I see, Emery, how to use without a job title. I would not recommend using this without a job title, because then it's just going to be a whole bunch of information and not actually give you the specifics you need for a specific job title. Now, if you are not sure what job title you're looking for, then I would recommend doing some more research out there, so that way you can see and kind of make some determinations on that. Again, you put in your information for your city, and then your a job title. Now, this does not, unfortunately, tie into if you're looking for specific remote jobs. This is really about skill mapping, seeing if you want to transition to another job. These are the skills that you would need in order to be able to do that successfully. All right. I have, again, dropped that link inside of the chat, so that way you guys can utilize that. But please, I'm going to give you some documentation at the end, so that way you have access to this as well. All right. Any questions before I move on? Oh, you're most welcome. All right. I'm going to have to press the, okay, here we go. All right, so now let's continue. We're almost done, because I'm going to open it up so that way I could get questions from you guys also. So, strategies for a lifelong learning. Again, I'm going to say I 100% believe in being a lifelong learner. There's absolutely no way that you can be successful, truly successful in life, in your careers, if you stay just doing the same thing that you have done in one job forever. This is how people get laid off. This is how people get riffed. This is how people get fired. This is how people get on have all kinds of issues out there, because they stay in their positions and they do not grow. It is okay if you don't want to be a manager. I understand that managing people is difficult. Keeping up with your skills makes you someone they don't want to get rid of. And it makes it so whatever they're paying you makes sense. They'll go, you know what? If we got rid of this person who has all these skills, then what are we going to do? Yes, Melissa, it especially offsets ageism, because it doesn't matter how old you are. It matters how much you know. Make yourself invaluable in terms of information to your business, to the people that you're working for. Or if you have a business, as a business person, make it so you have the knowledge. They ask a question, you have an answer. Or if you don't have the answer right there, you go to ChatGPT, who I lovingly call Charlie, and ask that question, and then you're able to give them an answer. Wow, how did you do that so quickly? And you go and give them you don't tell anybody the the answer to that question, you keep that's a resource that you keep. And if they don't know and they ask, you can say, well, I am offering a class on how to learn. So that way you could teach and make some money at the same time. Okay. All right. So again, back to the strategies for lifelong learning. Adapt the growth mindset. Somebody said it at the beginning of this meeting in the chat, to have a growth mindset, embrace continuous learning, utilize online learning platforms. Since COVID, so much has really just exploded in that space. I don't know if you guys know that LinkedIn also has LinkedIn Learning. They have obtained, I believe it was lynda.com, if memory serves me correctly. So they have their own wonderful resource of just a lot of information, and their courses are amazing. They have, and if you, not all of them are free. You do need, thank you, Melissa. You do need to have LinkedIn Learning. It connects to your LinkedIn. You do have to pay a little bit more, but if you're paying, I think it was like $30 a month, imagine what you can learn with only paying $30 for that month. Imagine how much information you can obtain in a month using LinkedIn, which most of us already have. And then after you've obtained that information, you get a certification, or it's usually a certification. And then it links to your LinkedIn account. So when you're looking for a job, it says, hey, look, I've learned this information here. And that only makes you more valuable. That only makes companies out there that you may be applying to go, oh my goodness, she has this. I need that. I want her. Right? All right. Then engage with communities. I absolutely love being a part of the Learning Tube. I love being a part of the Little Sisters AI group. I'm not always able to be as active in it as I want to, because I'm so busy, because I have all these skills, because people keep businesses keep asking me to come and teach and spread my knowledge. So I'm doing that. Yes, absolutely. Some companies do provide LinkedIn Learning services for free. I've actually been an admin for LinkedIn Learning for our business, and I have to tell you, it's absolutely amazing what they're able to do, what I've learned. LinkedIn Learning is a community as well, so seriously engage in those communities, and then finally integrate these learning habits. It's great to learn it. It's great to have these certifications. It's great to go, I know how to do this. But the key is being able to actually integrate it into what you do. If you're not integrating your information, if you're not integrating the certifications that you have, the knowledge that you have, then what are you doing? You're just sitting on it? That to me is waste of time. Integrate it, use it. Figure out a way, figure out that niche to make it so that way you can utilize what you're learning. Because with muscle memory is real. If you're not using what you've learned, you're going to lose it. And then one day you're going to sit down and you're going to say, oh, I know how to do this. And you're going to see that the world has passed you by. And that's a problem. At least I think it is. All right. So what's one online learning platform or resource that you found to be really valuable? Please drop that in the chat. Again, what is one learning platform? If you have more than one, that's fine. One learning platform, an online learning platform or resource that you found that has been really valuable. Out there, please write this down. Of course, Coursera, okay. I know there's more. edX, okay. You can say the Learning Tube. Udemy. O'Reilly, LinkedIn. Yes, absolutely. Look, I was about to say, Angela, YouTube. YouTube is one of my favorite places. I am a YouTube University active student. I'm constantly going in there going, okay, I don't know how to do something. Let me learn it, especially if it's something visual. A lot of times I go to Charlie and I say, hey, Charlie, help me. I know that's not necessarily an actual learning platform, but it is a resource. I use Charlie all the time. And the fact that I could talk to Charlie in the shower and not have to type anything and it talks back to me, I'm down. You got me for life. I will pay my $20 a month for life. For life. AI experts, Allison, which I'm presuming is your name for ChatGPT, Midjourney. All of these are wonderful options, all of them. Okay, so about to wrap up and then we'll open it up in a minute. So here I have a little toolkit for you that breaks down what it is that I've talked about in this meeting or in this presentation. It's a QR code. I can show you what it looks like because I know some people out there are worried, but this is what it looks like. At the very bottom of the document, you'll see I gave you some online resources. The LinkedIn Career Explorer is here, LinkedIn Learning, there's a few other options. And then I also put my LinkedIn access there too. All right, I'm gonna go back. So please do use your QR code, your phone to click to, I'm stuttering, my apologies, but use this to get access to the toolkit. It is absolutely free. So there you go. And please, please, please stay curious and keep exploring AI. I'm going to leave this up, the toolkit and my LinkedIn account. If we could please open up the mic so that way we can hear any questions.
Great.
Thank you.
Anyone with a question, please raise your hand and I will unmute you.
And you don't have to have a question. If you're just like, hey, this is a thought or an idea, totally open. All right, Nina.
Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. Thank you so much. This was a great presentation. I just have a quick question for you, Shani. I do nurse education and I do I'm coming into the online platform and I'm trying to create a virtual space for my students I want to create like a virtual hospital with virtual patients. I'm using like Sims now. It's like a somewhat like that, but they're not giving me everything I'm looking for. Is that something that you do? Do you specialize in things like that?
So I need a little more information as to what specifically that you're looking for. You're looking
Yeah,
for
it's like a virtual school with like basically I want a virtual hospital where students can interact with one another, like through an Oculus or online.
Yes, I can help you with that.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna reach out to you.
Sounds good. Thank you, Nina. Have a good day. Michelle? Can we unmute Michelle's mic, please?
Go ahead, Michelle. Michelle?
Can you unmute?
Okay,
No,
now I'm there. I think I was clicking a little too fast. Sorry about that. Shani, this was a great presentation. I loved everything about this. I'm in the Los Angeles area and I attended late last year it was an LA Regional Community College seminar. It was a full day and it was really interesting. A lot of it focused on AI and how they need to, as a group of 19 community colleges, how they need to prepare the workforce to work with AI. And it was fascinating. And I know that every school district, every state, there's so much, like nobody knows what to do and there's no uniform way of doing it. I was just curious in the space that you're in, obviously, you're doing everything from adults to schools to colleges probably and everything in between. What are you seeing? Are you seeing any potential path for some sort of unification where the schools at different levels are coming together? Because it does seem so hodgepodge.
Well, so first I'll talk about the reason for that, and then we can get into what I'm seeing. And the reason for that is, of course, resources and money. It's a lot of money. And like I said, that wheel of education turns really, really slowly. And especially when things change, when something new is coming, parents in schools are really, really nervous and scared about, special ethical considerations, right? And teachers especially are afraid, oh, you're going to take my job. You can't take my job. It's my job. I'm going to keep it. But then also there's that fear of cheating, right? But we have to, as Little Sisters teach us, shift our mindset, right? And start thinking, okay, how do we create the curriculum, our assignments, so that way it's more difficult to cheat, one, but also how do we teach those critical thinking skills that keeps them open and able to, okay, you've done that, that's great, yeah, you think you're cheating but you're not, because now I'm teaching you something you don't even know that I'm teaching you, which are critical skills and problem thinking, right? So what's the trend? The things that I'm seeing, are there some school districts that are bringing AI into the classrooms? Yes, they are. They're few and far between. A lot
Yeah.
of them have the funds, the resources to be able to do those things. But the reality is, no matter what, people want to fight it. It's going to happen because it's
Yeah.
already happening, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
if we want our children, if we want ourselves to be marketable, to be competitive, we have to get on this wave and ride with it and continue to learn. Because if not, then we're going to be on the other side, drained, dry, and broke. And I'm
Yep.
not about those things at all. So it's really, we're at the point now, right here. We're at this wonderful space where we have the option to opt in early and
Yeah.
learn and then keep up with it, right? And bring as many people as we can along with us for this ride, and hopefully keep growing and keep growing and keep growing, because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the presentation today.
Thank you. I appreciate you for that. All right. Let's go. I think Melissa was next.
Hey, Shani, first of all, let me say you are phenomenal. You know how to impart information in a way that anyone on the, learning gradient can understand. So kudos to you first. So I needed to give you your flowers
Thank
at
you.
the beginning. What I would like to, well, basically piggyback off what Michelle was discussing. And because you taught across the various learning gradients as well as age demographics, there's a particular niche that in my gut I feel needs to be further developed in that older worker demographic, or something that could, an AI tool that could be developed to utilize with people with cognitive decline, dementia, Alzheimer's, where even if they're able to, as you said, you named, I forgot your chat GPT, what's his name, Charlie?
Charlie.
Okay, her name is Emma, my GPT. We could utilize that to help them in terms of trying to retain memory. So I say all of this to say, in terms of brainstorming, I think it's also very, very important that we emphasize the possibilities and within legal constraints. Of course, you don't want to impose on people's privacy in the ACLU, and AI being used in identifying or highlighting cultural features, the social ill side of it. But I think it's imperative. We've got to open up our mind to a world of possibilities like we did after the adoption of the internet. We weren't thinking about just how powerful of a tool. So I think it's important to integrate that and to reinforce that through, academic exercises, but not only that, adopt that philosophy that we are not limited.
I 100% agree with you. I think it all starts with is to mitigate and hopefully remove the fear that people have of using any kind of tech,
So
especially
may I,
older
I'm sorry,
people.
can I interrupt you there
Sure.
and talk about that? Like you said, the fit, it's not coming, it is here.
It's
It is
here.
completely
Absolutely.
ingrained in our lives. And these people, and I shouldn't use that pointing word, these, there's a school of thought where people subscribe to, oh, you know, AI is intrusive. And it's like, you're speaking as if it's not here.
And that they're not using it already, because what people don't make the connection to is Siri, is Alexa. These are all AI tools that are already in our houses. They're already on our phone. We're already using.
IoT, yes.
And so that's how I make the connections. I just did a presentation at a library about AI basics. And that's where I started from was, hey, who has Siri? Who has Alexa in your house? Guess what?
Mhm.
That's AI. Hello, you're already there.
Right.
How often do you use it? Some people, of course, said, well, I don't use it. And I said, okay, I understand that. But you're here because you realize that this is here already. You're in this class, you're taking this time. Because I was surprised at how many people came without a cell phone. And I was like, okay, well, I can show you some stuff, but when I have another class, I need you to bring your cell phone with you, because
Right.
I can only show you and talk to you about so much.
Right.
And then I talked about toddlers and how they're not afraid to pick up your phone and start touching and doing all kinds of things. They're not afraid to go up to a computer and start tapping things, right? So we need to learn from the younger generations, or the younger generations need to teach the older ones, or people who are afraid that no, it's just a tool. It's just like a
Right.
hammer and a screwdriver. You use it, you can use it for good, you could also use it for bad. You get to decide.
Right. Got
Thank
it.
you so much. I appreciate you, Melissa. There was someone else, Angela, I believe, was next. Yes, Angela. There you
Yeah,
go. Angel, I'm sorry. I called you
yeah,
Angel.
Angel. Yeah, the other question I have is as far as teaching the kids, also reaching out and teaching the parents.
Absolutely.
What resources are available, teach them to distinguish between, hey, how do we teach the kids to use it as a resource to help them as opposed to a resource to take shortcuts?
Well, first of all, we have to let's shift our mindset around away from shortcuts being something bad, because it's not. Let's, instead of calling it shortcut, let's call it efficiency. We're being efficient. That's a marketable skill right there. All businesses, no matter what, want to be efficient, right?
I
And
agree.
so that's a key piece right there. So one of the things that I would start with helping with adults is to help them shift their mindset away from trying to make things seem so negative when it's not, right? That's my number one. Well, after stop being afraid, but also let's shift. And fear is a part of that shift too. But
Okay.
it's really about let's shift away from fear and away from it being bad that we want a shortcut. Everybody wants a shortcut. That's why the microwave was invented, right?
Yeah,
That's why we have so many different things for a
yeah,
shortcut. There's nothing wrong with that.
I
But
agree.
it's about learning the skills. So that way that shortcut isn't a skip over. It's okay, I'm problem thinking and thinking critically, problem solving and critically thinking,
Okay.
right?
Good point. As far as the efficiency, is what I've seen with some of the kids that I've worked with and working with the parents is efficiency is not a substitute for fundamentals.
Nope, it's not at
And
all. And with teachers, because it starts somewhat with teaching teachers on how to adapt and flex their education or their curriculum or their assignment, so it's not a yes or no answer. It's
okay,
not just a fill in the blank answer. right?
Right.
It's a much more in-depth answer that you can not necessarily get from talks, putting it into Charlie or to ChatGPT or Google or any of those AI resources, right? It's really about how do you create these more enriching assignments so
Mhm.
that way they can work with a tool like Charlie and still
Okay.
learn how to answer questions and think critically and solve problems. Because the reality is, you sat there and you told a child, you can't use the internet, you can't use this. What are they going to do? They're going to go right on and do, that's the first thing they're going to do. They'll pull out their
Right.
phone, their iPad, whatever. And they're going to, I know my children ask me all the time math questions that I can't answer. So who I ask? I said, Alexa, what's
Mhm.
22 times 450? And
Mhm.
they might answer you right now. She's not, because she's not listening. But but I mean, come on now, right? We have to, as educators, learn how to ask more enriching questions. And the reality is that's difficult, right? It is
Yes.
not as easy as we want it to be. But can we ask Charlie to help us with formulating those questions? Yes. Yes, we can. So
Yes.
use
All
the
right.
tool. Use the tool.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you so
No problem. Thank you. Are there any more questions? We're at 9 minutes to the hour, and I just want to make sure that I address any questions. Nina, your hand, I'm sorry.
Nina, please unmute your mic. Sorry, Shani.
No problem.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't lower my hand. I asked already. Thank you, Shani.
Okay,
I'm so excited.
no problem. So Denise, I see you say you have a question about you want me to talk about Open Art and Pixel. I have not used those, so I will be doing my research. But if it is something that's like creating images or any kind of art, I can give a recommendation. My favorite right now is Ideogram, which surprisingly I don't have up on the screen because I use them all the time. So it's going to come up and Ideogram comes up with these absolutely amazing images. I believe they still have a free version. There's certain things that I pay for because I use it enough. This is one of them. Michelle knows. She says it rocks. You just you can type in something real small like, so first of all, let me tell you, all of the images in my presentation came from Ideogram. Every last one of them. And I can show you, it'll be faster if I show you some of those images. Hold on. So every last one of them, and they look like pictures, right? Every last one of them. You see that I'm using Canva for my presentation too. Canva is an amazing tool. They have Magic, I think it was it. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Magic Mike, and that is not where I'm trying to go right now. I think it's Magic AI, but I can't think any longer because now that's all I have. Even this image came through for with Ideogram with the text in it, and the text is correct. With Ideogram, you can also you can go to somebody else's image. They give you the prompt. They give you the magic prompt. You can remix the prompt. You can upscale the prompt. Now, I will tell you this again. I pay for mine, so some of these options may not be available if you're using the free. But I will tell you that Ideogram is where I go for imagery. And it's extremely fast. And you can see all the images that other people have created as well. So hopefully that answers or gives you some information. Yes, Michelle, it's really, really easy to prompt. You don't have to put in, like I said before, people were complaining about being prompt engineers. You don't have to. It does so much. It takes the little bit that you give it and gives you like 4 different options too. Any other questions? It looks like not, but I want to say thank you so much. I love what I do. I'm extremely passionate about what it is that I do because I'm a lifelong learner, and I love educating. I love it. I don't know, Melissa. I can add. We could talk to the Learning Tube. I would love to present again. So I just did a couple of presentations for other organizations a couple of days this week, last week also. So I'll post them on LinkedIn when I have more. I'm not that great with it because I'm just tired. I just did a hackathon with some of my AEN group. If you've ever done one, you understand that in 30 days you're building some kind of educational technology prototype, and I'm tired. So I'm gonna take a couple of days and regroup. But yeah, so thank you all. It says when Michelle, you can also ask, yeah, ChatGPT will also create prompts for ideogram. But let me tell you this. For your ChatGPT, you can literally ask ChatGPT what it needs from you to give you what you need from it. I'll say that again. Ask Charlie what Charlie needs from you so you can get what you need from Charlie. And it will give you. And then you can answer it and then put it back into Charlie, and then you'll get what you want. And because it is an LLM, it's going to remember your answers, and you can keep moving forward with it. I don't know how much easier it can get than that. So, and I see people are saying, I do it all the time. I didn't know to do it until I did it. And when I do presentations, especially face to face, people are always like, well, can you ask Charlie this? Can you ask Charlie that? Yes, you can ask Charlie anything you wanted, anything you want, anything at all. And you won't break it. So ask away. If you need the permission, I'm giving you the permission. You can ask Charlie anything you want. And I say that jokingly, but seriously, because some people just need that permission. So I give it to you. I bestow it to all of you. Go ask and enjoy. All right, well, we're 3 minutes to the hour, and I'm going to be mindful of everybody's time. Again, I thank you all, and everyone have a wonderful day. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can do some more things together.
All right. Thank you so much, Shani. It was a great presentation. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone learned from you. Go ahead, guys, and connect with Shani on LinkedIn. Her link is in the chat, as well as her tools. And it will also be in the replay, which will be sent within 24 hours via email. Thank you all for joining, and see you on the next one. Bye.